We started nicely, then we were lucky. We met investors. We met a very nice guy who's an investor. Kwanza mabwana zetu walikuwa wanashindwa zile za umzee anawapa hizo pesa zote mfanye biashara.
Hi guys, how are you? Welcome to another fantastic episode. I have guests and I have a co-host. Yes. Si ule wenye tumezoea. Huyo bado ana Galavan tuko high school. Yeah, but I have someone else, someone who's very close to my heart, someone who's a darling, someone that we love, all of us, I am sure. And I'm talking about none other than Mama Tugi.
Co-host.
Co-host
Co-host is the title.
Yes, co-host. Co-host is the title for you today.
Okay.
And there's a reason why Mama Tugi is my co-host. Because today, the conversation today is very interesting. And we're here kumwaga roho yetu, as in we're here to pour out our feelings and our heart and say vile biashara imeturamba.
Hivi ilitufanya hivi. Nilituambia you did not
you
know
thought
what
you knew.
You do not.
Mama T, Celestine and I, we can call ourselves
women in business.
Women in business.
Strong women.
Are we strong women really?
Yes, because we did not die.
Yes, we are here. We are still here.
Yes.
Tunapambana na maisha.
So we are very strong.
So we are women in business who have had a few challenges here and there.
A few?
Ni mingi.
Don't say a few, Mama Steph.
Okay, wenye wamerambwa na biashara, we've had a few challenges here and there. But from that context, there are people that we look up to. Sisi, like us from outside looking in, when we look at these women who are our guests today, tunaonanga wakiwa goals. When we look at everything they've been able to achieve, tunaonanga gai our ni goals. Tunaonanga ni goals. And that's the reason why they're here today. Sisi kilituramba, tunakuja kuwapatia story yetu, and then watupatie mawaidha. Or we see whatever lessons, which lessons we can pick from the conversations we're going to have today. Anyway, nimeongea too much. Please, ladies and gentlemen, kuru tupigia guest wetu makofi. Juni guest wa nguvu sana. Drum rolls, introducing our guest for today. Yay! Yes, and sitaki kuwasema majina. I want them to introduce themselves. And we will start with you, Dr. Wanza.
I'm Dr. Sarah Wanza. I am a dentist and I'm the founder and director of Versatile Dental Solutions. I've been in business for a year.
Okay.
1 year?
Yes.
That is a lot.
And she's here as someone we look up to.
Yes.
So, please. Yes. Miss Ivon.
My name is Ivon Kanye. I own a few businesses. The oldest one, we've been in business for 5 years this year. Yes. So I own Beauty Square, Skin by Kanye, and my newest baby is called Little Things Kenya, which I own with my partner, and we sell Apple Watch accessories. Yeah.
5 years.
I think Ivon yana takuwa mwalimu wetu kwa hii class ya leo. And then we have none other than Nyawira.
Nyawira. Yes. Hi, my name is Winnie, and I'm the CEO of Glam by Ivy and Ivy's Fashion Closets.
Yay!
How many years?
2. Ivy's is like 1.5, and Glam by Ivy, this is the 3rd year. Those are 2 years. Yeah. 2.5. 2 something.
So this is Dr. Wanza behind Versatile Dental. And then if you have been in my DM asking me about skincare, nimekutuma kwa hivyo. Yes, and from kwanza that the ile ilikuwa inakaa natural kinky. The kinky, the head. I think you're to this. That one people bought. As in, I think you want to. Yes, it was one of the most requested. There's a headband wig navanga ya kinky na natural hair. Yes, na kama umenunua hiyo umenunua kutoka kwa Nyawira. Okay, nasema Winnie, mimi nataka. Yeah. So these are all their businesses that we worked with vizuri sana mimi na Mama Tuki
Co-host.
me with my co-host. Yes. Yes, and that's the reason you guys are here today. Because when you think about women in business and women that we look up to, because sisi tukiangalia tunaona these businesses these are a success. So we want to know the secret. But before you tell us the secret, and of course a little bit of history about your journey as an entrepreneur, wacha tuwapatie story yetu.
Don't serviette. We are about to start crying.
Mama T, please take over. Tell us.
Wacha into niseme. As Mama Steph is saying, you guys are goals. Like wewe Wanza, 1 year, anasema ni 1 year. Ako na duka, ameweka duka, ako na wafanyikazi, a whole year, like you have a physical place, you have employees. Sisi a whole year tulikuwa na rent, tuli rent shelves ngapi? That's the most we did. Renting a shelves is not bad, but it was like in a year you've done so much. That's why we are saying you guys are goals. In a year you have a physical place, in a year you have established yourself, in a year you're doing influencer marketing, in a year you're like from where we sit it looks impossible. Me nitakuta tu wash lakini usikasirike. How are you doing all that in a year? Kwetu sisi tulianza biashara. The dream is the dream still there?
This dream is still very alive.
The dream is not going anywhere.
Yes.
The business is called Get Serious.
Yes, that's
so we
business.
must get
serious. That's the reason for our conversation today.
And I know guys tunacheka, but deep down somehow we were not always taka biashara uanze alafu ikufe. It's not the dream of every other entrepreneur. I'm a self-employed person. So when we started, we had this big dream which is still there. It's not going to die. That's why we are strong women in business. We started nicely, then we were lucky. We met investors. We met a very nice guy who is an investor. Kwanza mabwana zetu walikuwa wanashindwa zile za umzee anawapa hizo pesa zote mfanye biashara.
So actually let me take them back kidogo tu ndio sasa nikuje nifikia kwa mzee wetu. So when we started the Mkurugenzi line ya merchandise, we had somebody who was sourcing not the material, the finished products, the actual product from China. Juu sasa sisi tunasikia China, we actually just like Nyawira, I'm sure she will mention it. Tulikuwa na backstories huko before to camera zianze kuroll. Just like you had tried doing it here with Kenyan tailors and whatnot, we did the same with Mkurugenzi, but ikatuonyesha ile kitu. We lost quite a lot of money. So then we met this gentleman who introduced us to his company that's based in China that does sourcing on behalf of mimi sasa. Mimi niko Kenya but nataka kununua vitu China, so he's sort of the middleman. So we started the biashara, nenda vizuri na tukaleta merchandise ya Mkurugenzi nini. I think it was around the third time we were bringing in stock. And nilikuwa nimeenda kwa office yake for a meeting nini, we are just discussing like business and what not. So nikiwa huko naenda napata office yake imejaa boxes. So naangalia mabox na muuza, hizi box ni za nini? Niambia, hii ni biashara nyingine nataka kufanya. So I was curious, nikamwambia biashara gani hiyo? Akaniambia, these are actually household items. So nikamwambia, akaniambia, so nikamuuliza, una plan kufanya nini? Unafungua duka uziuze, like what's the plan? He was like, no, naenda kupelekea wasi wa Kamukunji. So I want to deal, like he's a wholesaler. Sasa ana supply to wholesalers. Then wholesalers now sell to their customers. But mimi curiosity na sasa in my head najiona vile mimi ni mwana biashara. Nikamwambia bila mimi like I'm just curious to see when you talk about household items what exactly do you mean. So he opened one of the boxes and inside chopping boards.
Yeah.
But then nitawatafutia Destiny, tutatafuta hizo juu niko nazo mahali kwa Instagram yangu. We will insert those images here. So it was chopping board nilikuzia hata wewe hiyo chopping board. Niliuzia kila mtu mwenye alikuwa kwa sample yangu. So by the way, I don't know, I have no idea kwa nini nilifikiria hivi. But sasa from him explaining each chopping board anainunua, say for example 50 bob. That was not the actual price, guys. It was much higher than that, 50 bob. And then kwa supplier anamuuzia 100, kwa wholesaler anamuuzia 100. Then sisi wholesaler ateka bei yake, maybe auzie customer 150. So I was like, you know I have followers. You know I'm on Instagram. You know I'm on Instagram. Na niko na followers. I mean, surely. I have numbers. I mean, come on. Kuza.
Multiply 50 times those numbers.
Your time, I remember I had, I think around 200k. It was half what I have now. Hey, no, I surely. Judy. Unaweza shindwa hata kuuza 20 chopping boards. Unaweza shindwa watu 200 watakosa kununua chichi.
So 20 times tuseme 100.
Yes, unaona.
Hata hesabu ikoje 2000 anaenda 200,000.
Yes. Inaingia unaona. I am rich. Long story short. He gave me 20 chopping boards to go and sell. So this supplier mwenye wa China ananipatia chopping board na 10 bob, right? Alafu sasa mimi niende niweke bei yangu ataka ni 15 bob. Niuzia watu wangu. Si mimi nimemake 5 bob yangu. Na yeye nimempatia 10 bob yake. Hey, let me tell you. I went home. The following morning I posted on stories. In less than 30 minutes, I had sold the 20.
God bless.
I was like,
No rent, no salary for
imagine. Like I am literally recording a video for less than 5. It doesn't even take me 5 minutes to record and maybe say 15 minutes to record and post because it's stories. I'm not posting all the timeline. It's on stories. Hey, I was like, so namcall namwambia by the way nini zote zimeenda. Akaniambia uko serious? The next time nilichukua 50. And those 15 2 days I had sold them. Zote zimeisha. By the way, nikafanya another batch of 60. And those 60 were the only pieces he had left. And in less than, actually it was another 2 days, they were gone. Hey, me no na money. Kumbe, this is how people become millionaires. So our supplier is very he's shocked. He's like, hey, I've never worked with anybody who moves stock that fast. So he had other things that he was selling. Nikaanza kuchukua items too. Like zinakujanga tu nikiuza. Nauza. Na by the way, like in a week nilikuwa nakachina na hakia. I have made some good money just from selling these things and I'm seated in my house. Like literally seated daily. Yeah, ni sweet money. So one morning I receive a call from him and he tells me, hey, I met with a friend of mine and we were actually having a discussion and the person we were discussing is you. I'm like, are you? Akaniambia, hey, juu sasa nimeona vile una move stock. This is maybe like a month later. Na tumekuwa sasa tukiuza vitu. So tumeona vile umekuwa ukimove stock. So this friend of mine is interested in some sort of a partnership. So ananiambia, when are you available for a meeting? Mimi niko twende tukiendanga partnership. Hii biashara kama tunaweza grow tukue not millionaires, billionaires. Why not? Let's do it. So I go for a meeting and I meet this specific gentleman. Where? So mimi in my head, I think I wasn't ready. In my head, niko nafikiria even if it's a partnership, maybe we are talking about bringing in stock maybe worth 200,000.
Yeah.
Unajua? Like 300,000. Hata ungeniambia $500,000 ningesema.
That's a lot.
Unajua? But then tunaingia meeting. Na meet the
investor.
Said friend who's now the person who's interested in investing in this business. And they are talking 7 figures. Nikapigwa na butwa. Kwanza nikashtuka sana. I decided to actually the conversation was, you know what? I listened. And then I was like, hey, I need to go back home. sit my husband down and have this conversation with him, because in my head I knew it was very clear that it is one thing to move 60 pieces of a product or even 100 pieces. It's a whole different story to move 1,000 pieces, 2,000, 5,000 pieces. Hiyo inakuwa hesabu sasa ingine tofauti. Na ni kujaribu juu like I've only done this thing for like a month. Just as me pro or anything like that. So tunaongea na husband ananiambia ati anakuwa. Of course the questions in our mind is ni wash. Anataka kututumia unajua sisi sasa we in the limelight nini. We had so many questions. So we decided, you know what, let's schedule for another meeting, but now Abel is in this meeting now. Na tunakuwa na meeting. By the way tumekuwa na meetings kama 3 before ni ingize mama tu.
So ulikuwa umefanya confirmation?
Nilikuwa nimefanya confirmation just to confirm like this investor is legit, like all these things he's saying he does, it's true, because he's in other business, he's a proper businessman. Akona nini, so pesa zake si wash ni pesa za kweli. So anyway, I had done my due diligence. And then I decided, you know what? By this time you are convinced. Me, I'm convinced. And I'm like, you know what? See, life is all about taking risks.
Yeah.
Na sahau hii si risk ya 10,000. Ni risk ya 7 figure. Anyway, na call Mama Tugi na mwambia. Sasa Mama Tugi niko na story. Because I realized, okay, or rather when we were having the conversation with Baba Mbuzi tulikuwa, it is one thing wewe mwenyewe unaweza move stock, but imagine mka combine na Mama Tugi. Si mnaweza move stock vibaya sana. So we bring on board Mama Tugi, alafu tunakuwa 50-50 partners, like 50-50 shareholders wa hii kampuni. Nikapigia Mama Tugi nikampa story nini na nikaingiza Mama Tugi box. Siwezi shida kuingiza box. Nikamuingiza box very fast. Mama Tugi, do you want to continue the story from there?
Mama Tugi akisikia kuna biashara extra income, yes. Why not? Mimi naona kuna investor ameshafanya, you've been working with the guy, the supplier. So I mean Mama Steph hasn't niletea kitu mbaya. So I'm convinced. Of course wa haraka with Kimani. It sounds nice, it sounds sweet, it's a good thing. You can sell, you can push, so why not? Haraka contract, lawyer, company, open, get serious. Investor, weka pesa.
Tulete nini guys?
A whole container.
Guys? A whole container.
Wow. Me give me service.
A whole container. Guys, get a whole container of goods. Si ile yenye unapimiwa CBM,
ati cubic water square.
No, hii yote
container inapita Mombasa Road, unaona ile inakujenga imefungwa na gari moja kwa nyuma.
Kitrailer.
Inakuja inafika Thika Road. Unaona mzigo wa mtu. Me up to date I see a container. Unajama. Unasikia hiyo ni mzigo ya nani?
Anyway, guys, the stock arrived and our investor was gracious enough because he had a big 2-bedroom house. So that became our store. Yes.
That nobody was staying in.
Nobody was staying.
I feel like I should give him my number.
I know.
Like he was a very nice guy. He was a very nice guy.
So he had a big 2-bedroom, so that became our store. And of course, Mimi na Mama Tugi, we know how to do these things. I mean, they influence us. If you can't influence our own business,
sure. Glam anasema tumemuzia zikaisha.
Na post headband week.
Zinaenda.
Sasa zetu tutashindwa. Let me tell you. In the first 3 months, we were moving stock like. Yani tulikuwa tunauza. So where we had stored those things, ilikuwa 2-bedroom, sitting room, kitchen, like
bathroom.
Every space was okay.
The master was in suit, so you could not walk.
Like every single
boxes hivi tulikuwa tunaingia na torch.
Ilikuwa imejaa.
Wezi fikia dirisha, wezi fikia curtains. So the first 3 months there was way, like boxes empty, yani
cuz unafurahi. Like ati hapa tunaingia leo haya. Hizi zimeisha. You feel you're so proud of yourself. So this is what we did. In the contract that we had signed with our investor, it stated that in 6 months we will have cleared what? The entire container. Because tulikuwa tumejiambia na Mama Tugi in 3 months tunaweza kuwa tumeuza hizi vitu. 3 months tunaweza.
You guys, we have numbers, but
we have numbers.
Kama niwaoneshe.
So we knew for sure in 3 months tutakuwa tumefanya nini? Tutakuwa tumeuza stock imeisha. So we were like,
kuuliza advice from anyone who has done business.
Advice inakuanga, do you have the what? The money.
yes,
Advice inakuanga, you have the money. You have money. The capital.
Capital is there.
We have a lot of capital.
Wewe shida ingine ni gani wewe? So we are ready to go. So 3 months we are selling. We get into the 4th month, of course it starts, the sales are dipping, right? Unaanza kunotice, hey, tulikuwa tunauza tuchopa twingi na day sahi. Dulia anatuambia, hey, ni kama hazijaenda. Judy pia was part of that biashara of ours. So inaanza kurealize, hey, ni kama hizi nini sasa tumeanza ku slow down. The sales are slowing down, as in they are getting, zinaenda tu zikitimia nini. But unaingia kwa hiyo room, as in the house, it's a house, it's not a room, it's a house. As in, there's still boxes up and mpaka zimefika kwa roof.
Imagine.
Tusi tunaanza kusema na Mama Tugi, hapa tunaanza kufikiria nini tunafanya. Because before that, for the 3 months, every week we would deposit money into our investors account. So of course we take away our profit, whatever, our cut, and then the rest of the money. So every week it was very consistent. Every week kuna pesa zenye tunamwekea. And we told him how many months, remember?
6.
Yeah, because 3 tukasema 3 tutakuwa tunamwekea. But to be safe, let's do 3 more. Let's do double the time.
And the math was mathing,
Proper.
Yani tungemaliza in those 6 months. Wangetuona.
Tungekuwa hapa tunaongea.
Maldives shosho. Yani that hesabu. God. Hey, Mama Steph. Mungu ni gani jua. Hawangepumua.
So anyway, 3rd, 4th month, 5th month inafika mahali by way tunaweza maliza siku bila kuuza anything ama tunauza 1 product. Maybe we've sold 1 kachopa, 1 cow humidifier ama hivyo like,
and that's after 20 stories between the two of you.
Exactly. Yes. So now we realized, hey, nikifanya ka story kachopa kwa DM sitakosa mtu mwenye ananiuliza, hey Mama Mumbusi, kwani hakuna kitu kingine mmeleta?
I wanted to tell you, by the way, people get bored.
Exactly.
Get bored. Especially if it's not a service or an item that they need it's not a need. You see, like Kanye sells skincare.
Yeah.
Everyone
itaisha
atarudi. But sasa hiyo yako.
Nikinunua chopping board nitatumia for 3 years before ni design hata kununua chopping.
Wacha hata nishukuru tu wa followers wetu, because mtu amenunua, anakurumia, ananunulia mama yake. Anakurumia, ananunulia jirani. Like one person amenunulia community yake yote na bado haziishi.
So anyway, long story short, the 6 months came, and by this time the business was really struggling. Like really struggling, because it can't just be the two of us who are selling these things. Tukaanza kujaribu kila kitu. Tuna boost my ads. You boost ads for it's very expensive. I didn't know boosting these things
It's expensive.
It is very expensive. So you boost, but
I don't check the part where it shows you how
the
much
total
you spent.
I saw one day, I saw like 1 point something. Nikasema hii pesa ni yangu. Siangaliani.
So tuna boost, tunafanya nini?
Na sasa umetumia influencers. Ujahesabu ya influencers.
Tuliwatumia.
Na sasa sisi tumeingia mpaka kwa influencers wenye tunatumia nini, alafu we are trying to do better, because you see at this point there's really no money in that we are like
like too long story short, tusije embarrass enough. 2 years later.
Okay, that is when
2 years later.
Yes.
That's when we were clearing our content.
But Nyawira, let me tell you, by this time tuna clear 2 years later. Ile chopa yenye tulianzia na 1500 na kuuzia 150.
I'm just giving you to take
it now. Na kupatia tu.
That's where people now, the clients thinks that you're taking advantage of them before you are taking advantage of them before, but they don't know why you're putting this thing on sale.
I just wanted to go.
Actually, at times you even sell at a loss.
Actually, by the time we were clearing that the entire container, we were selling at a loss.
Like a proper one.
Yes,
just take it. Kidogo nikuje nikwambie shika tu.
Yeah, free.
Wewe ukijisikia nipeke ndio utanipea.
Actually, I've been there with clothes.
Let me tell you, the best thing that happened to us, and the one thing that you are truly, truly grateful for in those 2 years, is the investor.
Our
was
investor.
a very patient man. But then he was extremely patient with us.
Maybe because he knew you. Maybe it was.
Alikuwa anatuambia akona watoto kama sisi.
Actually, msichana wake si ni age.
Yes. So alikuwa anatuambia kitu, angalia anaona ni daughter tu yake anajaribu kumeka living in this Nairobi city. So he was very patient with us. Extremely patient with us.
Sana. In fact, he was so because he's been in the business so many
years
and so many businesses. Like biashara anafanya mingi. So he was really encouraging us. Hata saa hii si msewa, don't give up. He's a guy of what can we do?
Let me tell you, even now after all
he's a
stories na nini bado anatuliza tunarudi biashara.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Tunarudi.
So somehow it's like we have a very nice mentor. Ni venye hiyo character bado haijasinki. Tupumzike.
Connect us.
Yeah.
We are sisters here now.
Yeah. So anyway, ladies, that was our story with biashara. We are now in 2024. We have decided we are not going to let our dreams die because it is honestly a very viable business. Just that we did not have the proper strategy for it. We have learned some very serious lessons.
Lesson number one. Never a container again. If it's a container, have variety.
Yes. Alafu, me, I think for me, I would say there is power in starting small. I think for me that was my biggest lesson.
You know, I wouldn't say never container again, just to give yourself realistic timeline. Yes, it's okay to stock up, but no, this is my stock for 2 years.
And also,
It's okay.
a container, yes, but with different items.
And your best
variety.
yes, and your best sellers.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
that's true.
Well, we have
Hey, container. Si tunaomba tupatiwe
The way
hizo
me, if I had that
containers.
money to buy stock for 2 years, I would
Container.
buy now.
You want to say we are goals in another
If I could fill a container with snail nuisance, I would do it, and I sell them for 3 years because I'd bought them at a low cost, spread over a long period of time. So what talking now $2 to $50? Easy nilinunua at $170 na bado naziuza.
There's two sides.
Realistic timeline.
Tumejiona masupa.
Kwanza saa hii yako na stock ya kitambo. They are making money.
Anyway, so now before tuanze, because we need to hear your stories. Me, I'm very
write that.
Yes. we are very curious to hear your stories, because as we said, when we look at you guys, we see success. We see women who are excelling in the entrepreneurship world. So Dr. Wanza, you've been in business for 1 year.
Yeah, 1 year.
Nipatie tu story yako, because najua tumefanya kazi. Hey, kwa hivyo mimi na wewe tumekuwa because we've worked together for like 7 months.
7 months, yes.
So you were in business like for maybe 5 months before
We started working together,
yes. Okay. Tell us about your entrepreneurship journey.
You've talked about starting small. Starting small only gives you lessons. But if you have a chance to like overcome the initial fear, you know, I can say I started from a place of fear as well, because I had to start small. I needed a smaller location. I needed a smaller rooms. Yeah, so but all along, there are many lessons that come with that. So Versatile Dental Solutions, the idea started in 5th year of dental school. And I knew, I take care of my family. We were raised by my mom, peke yake. So I take care of her, and I had to take care of my siblings. So I knew after 5th year, I'm definitely not starting a practice because of capital. So the idea stayed on. But at some point, I was like, at this point, I may not start a clinic, but I do have the knowledge. I have things that any normal person would want to know about dentistry. So I'll start there. So I started with oral health education. I started a Facebook page, started YouTube, just to teach. And then in teaching, I noticed people actually were, okay, you'll put out information, it will be received by many, a few will respond. And the knowledge, the feedback from their few is what helps you to build even more. Or even to like narrow you to a path, like this is what you need to focus on mainly. So started with oral health education. At some point, I started importing some tools from China, not a whole container. I actually started with 10 electric toothbrushes and 10 water flossers. I imported those. They stayed in my house for 2 months before I posted about them. But from giving the education and just selling the oral hygiene tools, the electric toothbrushes, the water flossers, I was able to learn. I was able to learn how social media works. And in learning how social media works, later on, when I started the clinic a year ago, I had feedback. I was not starting from a point of naanza to, like I knew. I knew when you put out information out there, it goes, a section responds, and that section is what sets you on a path.
Yeah.
And even before I started my clinic, my previous boss was very gracious to let me experiment. So Versatile Dental Solutions was already online without a clinic. So any client who came to the inbox to inquire about treatment, I would tell them where to find me. So I was already freelancing as Dr. Wanza.
Yeah.
So they'd come to my employers' clinics, but they'd be asking for me. So we do the treatment. Some of them are still my clients till today.
Yeah.
So I started from a point of lessons, because I can say a big part of my practice has been built by digital. A big part. Huh? Yeah, so the clinic started a year ago. The idea started 4 years ago. Or the education about 3 years. The tools about 2 years ago. Like it's been incremental.
Yeah.
You start kidogo, you learn from that. So now the clinic has the 3 pillars together. We do oral health education, we do the provision of the tools, and we do the treatment. Yeah, it's been a really good year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
It's been a really good year. Yeah.
You are smart.
The power of starting small.
In just
Yeah.
building over time.
Kumruka sasa. Yeah.
Very interesting. For you, Ivon.
Oh, okay. So Beauty Square started in 2019, but even before that, I'd tried variations. So the first idea came from, I was living in the US back then. I was in uni. In 2018, it was my first, I was a freshman. It was my first year of uni. So a cousin of mine owns a business that imports things from the US to Kenya via sea. So sometimes they complement their containers with things they can get there for cheap and resell here at a good markup. So he'd bought a big duffel bag of like cosmetics from somebody on Craigslist or something, like for $100 or something. And there were so many different things in there, like concealers, foundations, skincare. And back then, like these things from the US were not readily available here. There were very few businesses that were bringing them. So he called me to his house to help him like price them, because now he didn't know, like nitauza so I'm a 1,000, I don't know. So at the time I was part of a Facebook group called Glam Life. Some of you guys still know it. Somebody blocked me from there, but it's okay. I prospered. So I posted on the page, not even selling, just asking, would you guys be interested? And I didn't sleep for like a day or two. I was just up responding to inboxes. Someone saying, I want this, can you get me this? So I started doing this business of custom orders. You send me a picture of what you want, I go and buy for you. See, because the stores are easily accessible to me, I just have to drive to the store and buy. And back then I was foolish. I didn't think I can order these things online and save my time. Yeah. No, it's me with my car and my fuel going to the store, going to buy these things physically. And then I would send them to Kenya and then sell them. Now, this business had many flaws. One, I refused to take deposits. Because like, especially my first time, I was like, I've never done this before. What if the ship sinks and then your things don't get here? What will I do with your money? Then also my reputation is on the line. So I was like, no, don't pay me anything. When the things get there, pay for them. So when the things arrived, half said, I don't know you, I didn't order, I don't have money, I don't want. Because you see, they've not made an investment in the product. So half the items didn't move. So I end up with a lot of dead stock. And I think I would try, then some people would buy, then I quit again. So I kept trying, I quit. I try, I quit. At the time, I was struggling with my skin as well. I had really bad acne and hyperpigmentation. And skincare, I feel, has been structured in a way to feel difficult. And I feel like it's on purpose to create a dependency on retailers like us and on brands to educate you. You see, it's different if you're going to buy a car, like you'll find out in a kunyonga diesel, I'm unleaded, what kind of oil for the service. You won't keep calling your dealer every time. Ni mafuta gani nitaweka? You will educate yourself. But with skincare, I've noticed there's that dependency that's created. So when I started learning about skincare, I was like, it's actually not hard. It's logical. It's very logical. So I started sharing about that online, and that's how the current version of Beauty Square started. So when I started sharing, now naturally, people want the products that will help that I'm talking about. And when I also shared my own journey. So I started now talking along those lines, products that help with these issues like acne and dark spots and etc. Then around that time, I went to see an esthetician who was there. She's also Kenyan, but she lives there. And after having a conversation with her, I was like, I want to be able to do this. Because then you realize there's only so far you can go by yourself. Sometimes you need the help of a professional. And I was like, I want to be able to offer this service to people. So after that, we just kept going. I became more consistent in 2020. I came home in 2019, and my mom used to call me a hawker because I used to walk around with a suitcase full of skincare, and everywhere I would go, I would sell to people. Be like, oh, I have this. And I made good money. I remember that holiday, every day, there was a certain amount I would never not make. I don't know where the money went. But it showed me, okay, there's something here. So now in 2020, I lost a big chunk of my job, and I was like, it's every man for themselves. I have to feed myself and clothe myself. So I got serious with the business, and I also experienced that initial rush of so many people buying. And the first day I made what I would normally make in 2 weeks, and I was like, okay, if I'm serious, I can make this every day. But of course, at some point it drops, and it's not the same every single day. When I moved back in 2021 is when now I became more consistent. At this point, I'd already gone to school and gotten my certification. And then when I came back, the plan was actually to open a spa. That was the plan from the very beginning. And then I just got derailed. Because now, like, once we moved the shop to a better location, now people keep coming and coming and coming. And it's just been about meeting that demand for the past 3 years now. So now we'll move on to the spa eventually. But yeah, that's how we got here with Beauty Square. Yeah.
And then Skin by Kanye was born out of.
Yeah, so and then I finally started practicing now last year, because when we found that shop at Sorova, actually one of the biggest selling points for me, I would have a space to practice in the back. Because before I felt like I had to find a separate location. Because if you had ever been to our shop in Sasa Mall, it was so small. Could only fit a few people. So I was always worried about being in like 2 different locations, and how do I keep an eye on my business at that point. I was still very much thinking from a self-employed mindset. How can I report to this job and this one at the same time? So when I found a location that can all be under one roof, I was like, perfect. But hopefully by the end of this year, Skin by Kanye will graduate and get their own location.
Hey, so far so good. That's where we go for our facials.
We are customers. Question. So at what point did you stop meeting with people one-on-one? Sijasikia kwenye ulifungulia duka. Nimesikia tu kutoka
so when we started, we'd also rented a shelf. Like in 2019. I noticed.
I told you. Okay. It's not bad. Okay.
Because Kenyans have this thing of they want to see. They want to confirm, okay, it's real or not. Even to this day, to this people who send money, if you don't respond in 10 minutes, are you a scam? Yeah, not a scam. But like a physical location gives people that reassurance. Is somewhere I can come and find you. So we grew out of that shelf into a shop in 2021, I think like January. And then now, it was my parents who are helping me find the shop. So I didn't know where it was. It was Uko downtown, near railways.
Still in the US.
Yeah, near railways. I didn't know. I was just sent photos of a shop. I was like, okay, the size is fine. The rent is cheap. Let's take it. Then when I came, the very first day, it's actually, I couldn't find the shop. Like I was in the building and I couldn't find it. And I was like,
I saw her story.
Yeah. Oh my God, how many people have come here and tried to find the shop and can't find it. So, and even the location was just not on brand. So I moved it immediately. I came back. That's when I went to Sasa Mall.
Mama alitafuta ile jeep.
Of course, the parents are not looking at aesthetics, location.
Yeah.
Apana. So when I came back, I moved it. And then now, initially it was just me and one other person. So as the team started growing, I started realizing like we'll only stay in this stage if I don't remove myself. And then what I came to realize, the first lady, I didn't train her the way I train these ones now. For her, she was learning on the go. Like she has me consulting, okay, now she knows what niacinamide is. She has me consulting, she knows this cleanser is for this. Then eventually with time I was able to leave her at the shop. Then when I onboarded the second one, she also learned pretty quickly. So it taught me people can learn. And the same way, see when I learned, there was a time I didn't know and I learned. And it's a lot of that reinforcing that to people. Because people will still come to and insist, I want Ivon, but Ivon is not here. So you'll just have to work with what's here. So that trusting people take that on. Then when we moved to the current location is when now I really had to detach completely, and part of it was trying to look for extra sources of income. So at some point somebody was eating very nicely from my money in the business and I didn't realize. So somebody was stealing quite a bit and me, I was just like, 1 + 1 is equaling 0.5. How? I don't get it. So one of the strategies I was thinking of was to reduce how much salary I take from the business by increasing my sources of income. And that's how I started doing the master classes and the different things. And that's also what taught me now. I can't be teaching a master class and answering DMs at the same time. So someone else has to do it. Can't be teaching a master class and in the shop at the same time. So someone else has to do it. So that forced me to delegate because I was like, I want to bring in more money also to help the business grow. But eventually we found the hole and we plugged it. Yeah.
What?
Nasikia tutapiga story kama hiyo siku moja.
Yes, in Jesus name.
Not of the stealing.
No. Stealing no.
So